Today we're going to talk about a subject that uh, anybody can anybody can comment and participate in, and it's a conversation that people talk about quite frequently, but we probably just don't think about it, right? So we're talking about today. Do you think people are born good or just shaped by life? Do you think people are born good, right? Or are they shaped by life? Are they shaped by life circumstances, life situations, okay? Because let's be honest, right? A lot of people say, he's been good all his life. He's just a good guy, or that's just a good lady. That's a good girl. That's a good person. They've always been, good. And honestly, I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I really believe that it could be both. It could be definitely both. Honestly, reluctant. Welcome to the chat. Um, I believe that life can definitely shape a person, right? But I'm a full believer and a firm believer that uh, your environment primes you. So whatever you was around when you was growing up has a major influence on how you will be whenever you get older. Okay, a major influence. So when I was younger, I've always been a good person, kind-hearted person, kind-hearted individual. Literally being obedient to my parents and everything like that. Of course, there was some times that I was disobedient, but a large majority of the time I was obedient, followed rules and everything. Once I started getting older and hanging out with so-called friends, um, that's when my personality and my morals started changing a little bit. Okay? Now, I never forgot how I was raised, right? And what I was taught. But once I started hanging around other kids my age and I felt that were cooler than me at the time, I started letting their influence rub off on me. Now, now since I'm a parent, I understand the frustration that my parents were going through when I was younger because let's be honest, you don't teach your children all of these steps and all these lessons so they can just go away, so they can just stray away. Even though that did happen to me, I definitely came back into my teachings that I was taught when I was younger. Uh, you from Israel? No, Can I sub? Definitely, you can sub. Everybody can sub. I just believe that, with the prayers of parents, the prayers of a family, of a praying family, your children will definitely come back to the light. All right? But getting back on subject, do you believe people are born good or they're shaped by life? And like I said at the beginning, I believe it's both. Okay, people can be shaped by life, and people are born good. Especially with me, um, like I said, I've always been a stand-up guy. But the older I got, I started straying away. All right, straying away. Certain life circumstances started to hit me left and right. Boom, boom, and the pain, the suffering, those harsh lessons definitely created a type of person that I'm very stern and very serious about gaining what I believe is right for me and right for myself. And I believe that could be the case with anybody. It's hard to just be good the whole entire time you're living, right? But one thing I can honestly say, right? Whenever you go through something, time after time after time again, you're being taught. And those lessons definitely shape you a certain type of way, right? That's like if I'm hitting my hand on a wall every single day. Boom, boom, boom. Either one or two things is going to happen, right? Well, one or three things is going to happen. I'm either going to break my fist, right? my fist is going to end up getting immune to it, right? Or I'm going to stop because it's just so painful. It's the same thing with life. We never know what life is going to present us from the day to day basis. We just have to live it. And with that being said, it's like you have to be prepared to take on these certain situations, these certain obstacles. Okay? Like, nobody's perfect. So, to be good, for a person just to be good, like, there are good people out here, right? But just to be good your whole entire life without doing anything wrong, that's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, First of all, that's not realistic. Okay, that's not realistic, and that's not going to happen. But everyone goes through certain life situations. You know, everyone goes through certain life situations, and whenever you go through those certain life situations, it forms you as a person. All right, it makes you better. All right, it shapes you. All right, life shapes you. Certain situations shapes you. That's one reason why a lot of people go to the gym. They get gym memberships. The people that's consistent and committed with that, they go to the gym because they want to change. They want to change, and they know if they put a little bit of time in every day, right, it's going to shape them up a little bit different. Whether they're trying to gain muscle, lose weight, tone their body, or just be overall committed to some type of activity. You know, a lot of people say them, and I've heard it from different sources, that the biggest battle that we have is within. Okay, that's within us. Appreciate that, Lola girl, QGA. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody watching. Mystery Leak. What's good? So yeah, so a lot of people do. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people do, but a lot of sources that I've read, that I've watched, that I've listened to says the biggest battle that we have is within ourselves. And like I said, you can take that with a grain of salt if you want to, but it definitely has some type of truth to it. And the reason why is because we're constantly in a mental battle. All right, we're constantly in a mental battle. Um, whether you respond to the voices in your head, whether you follow the voices to your head, in your head, it takes that determination and willpower to do something over and over and over and over and over again, especially if you know you don't see results as quick as you imagine yourself seeing them. So that's one reason why I say both. People can be good, but I'm a firm believer that life lessons, you know, hard times, bad situations, painful situations, right? Suffering definitely shapes a person in ways that you could never imagine. Now, hard times, right? Harsh times, sad times, painful times can shape a person either for the good, or it can shape a person in a negative way as well. And reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen both. I've seen how painful situations have put a person and put people in a state of depression. And I've definitely seen how painful situations, suffering has put a person, have put people in positions where they're beyond successful, beyond being successful. So it all depends on you at the end of the day. Once you're old enough to realize what's right, what's wrong, the consequences behind whatever action that you're going to be participating in, you know, that's what's going to create the character of an individual, right? That will shape the character of an individual. And it happens to us so many times in relationships, whether it be physical relationships, um, relationships via friendship, businesses. Whenever you have distrust, right, and disloyalty, and chaos in relationships, it puts you at it puts your whole aura, right? And it puts your whole mindset as like a little standoffish. Like you're not that sure. So you're very, very careful how you release information, how you use that information when it comes to conversation, when it comes to getting close and getting to know a person on a deeper level. And I definitely understand because why? Those lessons, those different situations, circumstances in life that you went through has taught you, okay, well, maybe I don't need to let a person know all of this right now. Maybe I do need to stand off a little bit. Maybe I just need to sit back and listen and watch and see how this person is going to treat me or do with me before I start releasing more information to this individual. Why? Because life definitely shapes people. Life definitely shapes people. That's something that we cannot deny. Life definitely shapes people, and circumstances shapes people as well. Um, I'm in the I'm in a season of my life right now where everything has been definitely. I'm not gonna say turbulence, but I've definitely have been tested, and there have been a lot of obstacles thrown at me. Right. Some of the obstacles I can dodge, I can get out of reach, right? But some of the obstacles hit you face on, like a collision, right? And what do you do after an obstacle hits you head on, right? Do you fall down, you get depressed, and you just stay in that state of mind? Or do you get back up and wipe yourself off, right? You do your little crying, your sobbing, and get right back on the road so you can get to the goal that you see yourself meeting and accomplishing, or do you just stop? A lot of us stop when it gets hard. Today, uh, I was at the barbershop, and I'm at the barbershop now, but today my client got here a little bit late. And it's a newer client, and I'm not even gonna lie, I really enjoy cutting bro. And he's older than me. He's definitely older than me. And uh, I didn't mind him being late. But the only thing is, whenever somebody's late to an appointment, it throws your whole schedule off, right? So I'm already on a strict time schedule as far as time, utilizing my time wisely. After I leave here, I go to the house. This is in the morning. When in the mornings when I leave here, I leave here. I try to leave here no later than 11:30 because I want to be at my house, back at my house at 12 o'clock, so I can get my workout in. That takes 25 to 30 minutes to do, sometimes more if it's more people on the chat and I'm engaging. At 1:45, 1:50, I have to leave my house and go to the pickup line to get ready to get my son. So anytime that anybody's late to an appointment, especially in the morning, it throws my whole entire day off a little bit. And that can be a little bit depressing. That can be a little frustrating, right? That can be a little bit annoying. And that happens to me. But that doesn't mean that I make up so many excuses in my head to make it comfortable not to do the responsibilities that I have set forth every single day, right? I have to make sure that I do it regardless because there are other people depending on me. Regardless if I was going live, regardless if I didn't have the schedule, it's still other people dependent on you. It's people that's dependent on me. You have to make sure no matter what that you push through, okay? Life definitely shapes you. Life definitely throws obstacles to you. Now, there's nothing wrong with being thrown all these obstacles and remaining a good, solid person. That's definitely hard to do, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling, I'm not telling you to be all good where you just let people beat up on you and use you as a punching bag. But no, you being good, making sure that you continue to have your morals, your ethics, your standards, where people know the type of person you are by the character that you show. Okay, that's very important. All right, that's very important. Life definitely shapes you. It is going to shape you every single day. It's going to shape you. You're going to be tested. You're going to feel. It's going to be some days where you don't feel like, man, I don't want to do this. Just like I said today, like I was. tired. I like this whole week I've been tired. I've been working on the album, but I got my workout done, and I felt so much better after I finished it. It's like a little bit of weight off my shoulders. Am I finished? No, I'm not finished. I still got other stuff I have to do today, and I'm doing it every single day. I feel like I'm Bruce Wayne. Really, I feel like I'm Batman because I'm literally on a strict schedule, and it's hard for me to have any time to do anything fun. Even though people say, well, you can make time for that, you definitely can. But right now, I be choosing to like really just work, 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 and I never really saw myself doing it to this extent, um, to this level, right? And it's hard, it's frustrating, guys, it's tiring, but I see the I see the prize at the end. Like it's just so much more freedom that I'm going to have at the end of the journey. All right. And let's be honest, the journey never ends until you die. And even when you die, the journey is not over with, right? Because when you die, how many other people are going to be affected by your death, right? How many people are going to be in a state of disbelief, in a state of um, maybe depression and sadness because you're no longer on this earth? So it's really important for you to make sure that however life shapes you, you maintain your good character. Okay? Because there are some people who are just good individuals and they wouldn't hurt a fly, and that's the type of person they are. Then you have people that was born that way and life definitely hit them so many different ways where they're not that person anymore. Okay? This is something else that people used to say too. Man, I know that nigga my whole entire life. I know, bro, my whole entire life. I went to school with him, bro. He ain't gonna do nothing. You don't know that. You don't know how life have shaped and formed a person since you've graduated from high school, middle school, wherever. You never know how life has shaped the individual. Things definitely can change. People definitely can change. 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay. My bad, guys. So I'm gonna have to get off too because I never know who's gonna come in and out. But think about this, guys. Do you think people are overall good people, or do you think life has changed and shaped people? Okay? And like I said, I believe in both. There's no right or wrong answers. Leave your comments in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. Guys, this is a platform for anybody who just want to release, who want to just take a little bit of time and relax and just have good overall classical conversation when it comes to different topics that we think about, that we converse about, but we just really don't get in depth with. All right, 10 minutes event is the place for you. Like I always say, like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified, stay blessed, stay focused. And until next time, guys, I'm out.